What's good, YouTube land? The Weird Collector here. Let's talk about Optimus Prime. And really, at this point, do I even need to talk about Optimus Prime? He's been the same since 1984. Well, except for those times he wasn't, and that time his descendant was a gorilla. But besides those, G1 Optimus Prime has been the same since 1984, so oh well. And we're here to talk about the latest Optimus Prime toy, the Earthrise Leader Class, which is not in this box anymore. It's right here. But yeah, here is said box anyway. It's a big box. Yeah, nice shot of Optimus Prime right there. That photo in gigantic. Trying to look at some of the details to see if there's any. Not really. But give you a good shot of it right there. On the back, you have Optimus Prime and the things he can do. On the inside, I didn't do the star chart background thing with Ironworks, but Ironworks one says Velocitron, which was, I guess, a planet in the Transformers universe, but also the name of a really expensive and pointless box set. But sure, let's do this one. Star chart. I gotta move OP down. If you can tell right there, it says Micron. There you go. You have to get one of these. Which I wish they'd stop selling them, because there's no point. Once you get one toy from this toy line, you have it, and you're. I mean, if you're like me, you probably still have them somewhere. But if you're a regular person, you probably throw them away. Kept one and thrown the rest away. Oh, there we go. Now let's talk about the toy and how he is probably the best non-masterpiece Optimus Prime at this scale, which is unfortunately getting blocked out by the sun behind me. Darn you, sun! But yeah, first comparison right away. Earthrise, Siege. They share very few parts. There's basically, from what I can see, the only real parts that they share are the head and the feet and bonk. These parts right here. As I drop Siege Optimus. It's almost as if they sold this guy, even though they knew they had that guy in the bank, just so people would buy him. Or release him first, I should say. But yeah. Even their backpack kibble is completely different. Although, there are small differences to even the parts that they share. So if I can get a good, which one's shot of the head sculpt. This one has, where are you, Primey? Some silver paint in the eyes, in between the eyes. Well, this one doesn't. Although he does have the benefit of having chromed paint on the back of his helmet, his hands, and his crotch for some reason. But let's talk about this guy by himself. And he is a very good toy. Obviously, he's got the War for Cybertron, tons of molded in detail, even like absolutely everywhere. There's not an inch of him that doesn't have some kind of detail on him. He's also one of the cleanest Optimus Primes, which is good because you'd think at this point they would have gotten Optimus Prime down perfectly, but this flap really is the only thing that you can consider kibble, and even then. Well, I mean, no, it is kibble. It's just no. I don't have adjust. It is kibble, unfortunately, because this is not a masterpiece. It's as close to a masterpiece as you can get at retail price, but he's not as good as a masterpiece. But here's another comparison for you. It's the power of the primes, and these were both sold as leader class. And yeah, power of the primes. What? 2018, I'm gonna say. 2017. Not too far. That is a major jump down in scale, but even then, God, the sun. Oh well, I guess there's your precedent. Even this Optimus has the blue groin piece. Articulation wise, head on the ball joint, very nice range of motion, swivel all around, nod up and down, head tilt, universal shoulders for full motion, even the butterfly joint. Elbow joint goes all the way up, and with a bicep swivel right there, you've got yourself a wrist swivel and a wrist hinge, which is pretty much non-existent on retail Transformers. Although it doesn't really look good when you extend it all the way, but it is a leftover from the Masterpiece. Because Masterpieces often, or almost all the time, have wrist hinges. Waist joint, it's really one of the joints that's unfortunately hindered, although you can break transformation, pull that down, and you get the full 360. Whether you want to break down that butt flap or not, it's up to you. It's so bright. It's almost as if it's summer, or just about summer. Hips, universal joint, can go all the way forward. Due to the backpack, it's not actually the backpack, it's this gray piece underneath that it bumps into, which you can't do anything about. So that's all the back motion you get. It's enough for walking poses, I guess. All the way out, you can do the full splits, which is also connected to a thigh swivel. And a very deep knee bend. I do miss the Siege guy's knee swivel, but that was a transformation joint, and this guy doesn't transform that way, so it's not here, unfortunately. And he's got the same ankle tilt, and both sections of his foot are on hinge, so mostly for transformation, but you can probably get some good dynamic posing out of that. So yeah, robot mode as good as it can get at retail. Slight hindrance, unfortunately, but oh well. Gimmick. You can open up his chest, and unlike the Siege one, there's the Matrix of Leadership in there. Now we can finally light our darkest hour at a tiny scale. That's if you didn't get the Power of the Primes guy who also has a Matrix of Leadership. It opens all the way. It's even the shoulders even go backwards to accommodate it. It is kind of hard to get out of there because it's so tiny. Gonna have to get a tool in there. But yeah, there you go. Just have a little bit of light piping in it. Uh, due to limitations, you can't have Optimus Prime actually opening his chest. I mean, maybe you can. It's kind of hard. Oh, I'm transforming him. Whoops. No, it's really not possible for him to actually open it to get it out of there. He also really can't hold it. Like he can kind of sort of hold it like that, but he can't do the he can't. Well, actually, he sort of can do the dark. Nah, his arms don't want to do it. Unfortunately, that's a problem because the siege guy. I hate to bring him back up, but he at least his arms stretch long enough. Oh my god, I'm sweating so much. Excuse me. His arms at least are proportionally long enough to actually stretch in front of his torso. Well, kind of. Ah, come on. If he had the hand joints, he could probably do the light or darkest hour. Yeah, so you can. Oh well. So he's not as dynamic, but he's not as. I think it's the elbow placement is the thing. Because if his elbow was just placed a little bit further out, because his torso, or if his torso was actually a tiny bit flatter, either would work to make him be able to. Because he has quite the boob shelf there, if you can't tell. Gimmicks. He's got the siege ports, one on each shoulder, one on each shin. I'm trying to think of. I'll put the matrix back in his chest. Apparently, there are ones that don't have a silver painted chest. One where his chest is red, which is odd, and a little bit of a thing. This piece is kind of misformed, so it kind of bends down, and it's not a problem. It's just in transformation I have to kind of force it back over, and I don't know if I could damage it. But other than that, where does his cannon go? I've got his ion blaster. Very nice. They can never seem to, as many times as they re-release this thing in different toy lines, they never seem to be certain of the shape. Because this is the Power of the Primes one, the one that splits into two. This is the where's Siege? Here's the Siege one, which is a bit more similar to the Power of the Prime. Like, can we just settle on one shape for it? But can we also like not really release any more new Optimus Primes? This one also has the ability to fold up and has a secondary peg for some reason, but well, actually for storage like that on his back. So he has some weapon storage. Also, we have to talk about the trailer. Because this is a leader price toy that actually comes with the trailer. Wow. This guy actually becomes the trailer. But not a usable trailer. There's a tiny piece right here that comes off and is designed to be used as a shield. Not that it really sits well because the port is all the way back there, so the shield does look very awkward on his arm, in my opinion. And I understand why it's solid gray, but come on, put some black into it. Like, I do kind of wish he'd come with an axe, with like an energon axe, as opposed to this thing that's barely a buckler. It also has siege ports on it, 3 right there. He does look good with the axe though. I don't know whether I'll keep the axe with the siege or the Earthrise one. But yeah, the trailer. We'll have to talk more in vehicle mode because it does quite a bit more stuff. But slot it in. Yep. Yeah. Let's just show off the. This is the problem with this kind of review is there's so much in this, like the robot mode, the transformation, the vehicle mode, and the trailer. It has to have its whole section, but it has tons of detail. It has the classic blue stripe with Autobot logo on each side. There's 4 rolling wheels along with a stand and a peg to go into whatever truck you want to haul it. You open it up and here's the repair drone thing, whatever. And Optimus can stand up in it if you want. Yeah. You can stand up. You can actually lie down because there's the peg hole right there for gun storage. You can actually plug right in there if you want. Although it's kind of low. It's better for lying down. Although not even at that point because you can just put him all the way back like that. Because if he's hanging down here, he's kind of hanging out of the trailer. You can't even see that, but there you go. And then the drone has got arms that are on ball joints, and it's got 2 hinges. It also separates, so you can use it as some kind of weapon pack if you want. You can peg it in there, hold it up. It's got those 2 ports, so you could plug. Come on. Well, you could peg the gun in like that, but it doesn't make sense. There's not many weapons that actually have ports so that would properly stick out like that. The arms are also on ball joints. This is on the main thing is on a mushroom peg, if you want. It's also actually reminiscent of the fact that Optimus Prime has a jetpack that can occasionally fly with it. It's kind of, pseudo being a jetpack, just for some more nostalgia, I guess. But we'll talk about that more in the vehicle mode. Let's get to the truck. And this guy does have a heavily re-engineered transmission. Probably one of the best mainline Optimus Prime transmissions. Fold the legs, pull down the feet. The legs are 90% done. Just flip up these 2 panels. The legs are, we'll save the legs for the end, but you can flip in the wrists now. There's a panel on each arm. Gotta get close. Fold the other one in. The arms will be ready for when we need them. You can take this back section, fold it down, rotate the waist, and then the best part of this is how they hide the rest of the truck, because the rest of the truck is basically right there, shoved inside him. It's not. What did you just do? I shoved a truck inside myself. No big deal. So just oh, I didn't even take this panel, open it up, and fold the head in at this point, and it pegs together right there. So then you want to do, we're going to do a lot of panel flipping. So fold this piece up until it locks, fold these two pieces out, and drop him apparently, because I am clumsy, and take these two panels and fold them all the way out. At this point, I'm gonna fold the legs, just because they tend to get caught on the arms. So just fold them so they're out of the way. This piece can sit down, and all of this section folds down. I'm doing this right? I think so. Yes, folds down to there to create the G1 truck front of the cab, and take the arms, fold them back, bend the elbow. Oh, I almost missed. There's these tiny red flaps right in here. You gotta fold them out like that, just so the arms actually sit properly in there. Fold the arm like that, so it sits at that angle. Same thing on the other side. And then the rest of it is pretty much just panel closings. You can fold the arms back, and the tabs right here will actually sort of tab into the arms. Not very well, but they kind of tab in there. And then close that piece. Come on. Close that piece. And see, on my copy, it doesn't fold properly, so I kind of have to force it up there. On the other side, tab, tab, tab. Make sure everything's good. And the last step, you can fold these things out, the silver drums on his side. And there you have Earthrise Optimus Prime in his vehicle mode. And this is a vehicle mode we've always wanted. That good old flat face truck that I suddenly forget the name of. This is what we wanted from Earthrise. This truck to look like this. Very clean. He does share one issue with the Siege guy, which is the hole in the back of it, but otherwise, yep, it looks exactly like it oughta. Very nice bumper and bumper grill, bumper. They've even got the line down. Also didn't mention he's got, well, I sort of mentioned he's got ports on his arms, but he also got ports on the back of his smokestacks. So if you want to do that for some reason, nothing really looks right. So let me get the Siege guy ready, because everyone probably wants a comparison between the two in vehicle mode. And I would cut to something funny, but if I were actually funny, I probably wouldn't be doing the show the way I do it. So just imagine I'm doing something funny while I'm transforming this guy. See, this is why I've immediately decided, though, like, oh crap, I'm gonna regret doing this, because I'm not cutting away to a funny gag or something. I mean, normally it's not an issue because it's a very quick transformation, but this is not one of those quick transformations. I mean, it is fairly. It's not. It doesn't take long, but it's not short either. It's somewhere in the middle. Bop, bop. Come on. Ah, I hate this. I hate the chest plate. Like, this one is a lot more awkward folding over than the Earthrise one because there's clearance issues, in my opinion. Come on. There we go. We're almost done. I'm not doing the Power of the Primes guy because it's going for a completely different style of vehicle mode, even though this one is also going for a different style of vehicle mode. I think the direct comparison still works. Yep, I think we're done. Yay. Alright. We now cut back to the unfunny review show from whatever you were imagining was funnier than me. And we will compare truck fronts. There you go. It's actually the Siege one is a bit longer than the Earthrise one. A tiny bit, but just enough to be noticeable. So here's the kind of awkward thing, and when it comes to remolding or lack of remolding, the best way I can show. So we have one truck port there, but because they kept the panel, we also have an additional trailer hitch right there, which is not here. It actually creates more problems doing it that way. Like, everything else is remolded because, you know, the legs transform differently, whatnot, so they have to fill them in. The wheels are different. They don't have these panels. Even the vents are basically the same mold, but just painted in silver here because, you know, they're chucking. You're paying $70 for this for like $40 for this. 40 to 50, I'd say. I think it's like $29.99 Deluxe, $39.99 Voyager, $69.99 for a liter. At least I think Canadian. So yeah. One advantage this guy has that this guy doesn't is actually, in my opinion, better weapon storage. Because you fold up the gun, you plug it in to the back, and it actually covers up that hole. As opposed to just taking the axe. But when I have to do it properly. Taking the axe and where did I put this gun? Just pegging them together and plugging them into the trailer hitch. It doesn't really work as well. Oh my god, I'm so bright. Yeah, that doesn't really work as well, in my opinion, as that. But yeah. 6 wheels. All the wheels roll well. I wish these silver oil tanks actually pegged in. Like, they peg into robot mode because they're tabbed in slots, but I wish they tabbed in out because it's too easy to push them back in. And other than that, There's really not much to complain about. There's really not much visible underneath, besides the feet, which are iconically just lazy in their design. There's nothing really else that's visible robot. So we have to talk about this again. Bring this in one last time. You can use the peg right there. You also have, if you want, weapon port storage all along the bottom of it. You got three ports that you can fold up the legs and plug it in, and you get a bit of a swivel while you're trucking. I wonder if Optimus Prime ever showed up in over the road racing. He probably would have done well in that game too. Oh, you also have, I just noticed, weapon ports on both of his legs. Yeah. I mean, I should have noticed those before, but yeah. You do get a bit of swivel. And if I take somebody else, let's grab, I forgot to grab Cliff Jumper. Oops. But you can theoretically fit one vehicle in Optimus Prime's trailer. If I can do this quickly. I forgot to do this. I'll take Smokescreen here just because he's closest, but generally the trailer only fits like some of the smaller vehicle modes from Earthrise and Siege. This is hilarious because we're getting a Siege, not, excuse me, Earthrise Smokescreen as well. And presumably they'll repaint him into Prowl and Blue Streak, but I kind of, it makes me wish they'd saved, like, they could have just released Barricade in this mold and saved this mold for save the Autobot brothers for Earthrise. But then again, they wanted to get their money's worth on the mold, and I'm not sure how many people would have bought Barricade. So there you go. There's Smokescreen. Let's give him his guns. And he does, although he hits the sides with his guns, he does actually almost. Well, no, you kind of have to force him a bit to get him past things, but yeah. Oh, come on. I'm trying to prove a point here, Smokescreen. God damn it, there we go. Jerk. There. He fits in the cab. Probably if you get, no, Cliff Jumper would definitely fit, but most cars don't fit, like Mirage wouldn't fit. I'll try Sideswipe afterwards, but that is the, yeah, he's now towing one of the Autobots, so. Oh, you can also, just to show off, take these weapons out of here. You can plug it into Siege as well, so it's backwards compatible. And hilariously, let's try. You can plug it in over here, because it's just a 5mm peg and a 5mm port. You can kind of peg something into the gun port right there. Although I don't know why you'd want to. Yeah. I think that's everything on Earthrise Optimus Prime. Do I recommend him? It's hard not to, because he is definitely the best modern Prime. Oh, I don't have my classic Prime somewhere. He's in a box somewhere. So I have 5 Optimus Primes. This is definitely the best looking Prime. Like on the market. I'd like to say on the market, but he's so hard to find. Just because I guess everyone went like pre-Corona, everyone like bought all of the Starscreams and Optimus Primes. So it's like all you'll find on most shelves is Grapple or all the deluxes. So he's kind of hard to find. I was lucky to get one. And yeah, he is definitely the best not masterpiece Optimus Prime available. Like not one of his modes, like really good robot mode, really fun transformation with the folding panels. It's a lot more. I don't know if it's more fun going back, seeing it all fold into his body, but it's definitely something. And yeah, pretty good vehicle mode. There's slight nitpicks in each mode I could make, but yeah, I've already made them. I don't really need to reiterate my points. That leaves this guy. Is he still worth it? One toy line later, I'd recommend yes. I still think he's well. If you're going for this design, go for this guy. This guy feels a different design. It's similar to the truck mode, but it's a little bit different. I think every it's a little bit awkward doing the recommendation because it is all subjective. It's up to you. Which Optimus Prime design do you want? Do you want the more straightforward G1 design with the trailer? Do you want a little bit futuristic design? Do you want the Power Master design with the digivolving little little Orion packs here? Who's still looking up right there? Do you want the classic design, which was at its point at the point it was made, it looks really good, but it's kind of I don't know if it's aged the best due to all the Optimus Primes out there. Do you want if we're just talking retail, mind you? You could spend a couple $100 for the masterpiece if you want. Either master. There are 3 masterpieces of this guy. Also, don't really like. I wouldn't recommend MP01 because it doesn't really look good. But like MP10 still looks awesome. MP whatever he's at now is apparently a lot more cartoon accurate and has sound effects from Peter Cullen and the works. But like he's really over. Oh, he's too expensive to easily recommend. But if you're looking for an Optimus Prime that's under 100 but still looks as good or looks comparatively like looks as close to G1 Optimus Prime as you're gonna get, this guy's still good. This guy's really good. This guy's highly recommended for that. And yet again, it's still up to you which design of Optimus Prime do you want. you for maybe people that grew up with the Energon or the Unicron trilogy. There's the Cybertron one, the repaint of Ultra Magnus that is based off Galaxy Convoy. There is an Optimus Prime out there for everyone's taste. This is just the latest one that's really good. So I think I'll wrap up. Been rambling enough. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. I'm trying to think of a clever truck pun. Think of a clever. Uh, all I'm coming up with is rack and ruin, wreck and rule. No, it's wreck and rule. Or no, I got nothing. So thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. I still need to find a Starscream, which I don't know, but when I eventually find that Starscream, I will get around to it. But that, now we just have to wait for Wave 2, which will hopefully come out soon. So until next time, keep it weird. Be safe and keep it weird. Bye.